Yo, what's good?
Right.
Driver's license.
Right. So the commitment piece is the same way. So for example, I guess the example would be in your job, right? You have a contract, you have an annual review. So I don't think that with this expiration date, I think there should also be a review process that should be happening. So uh if let's say the expiration date is 7 years, you should have a review process maybe annually or whatever that happens. Don't wait till the seventh year to try to be like, nah. I'll be like, the expiration date is today. Oh, I'm not going to redo. No, I'm not renewing it. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. If you didn't give me a verbal warning, I have my written warning. There was no talking to. You just can't not show up for the renewal.
And what do we do with our annual review? If it's coming in December, we don't start
Now,
working until October.
if you gave, so if we have these annual reviews, right, and we came to the agreement, things are going good. You know what? Things have been going good. I feel like maybe we could use some improvement in this area. Let's work on that. Let's put in a 90-day review, whatever that may look, or whatever review period that is. It
Come on,
sounds
man.
crazy, but I think that it would avoid a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
divorces.
bullshit. I'm a lie. I'm a lie like a motherfucker on a review and hit you
Yeah,
with a
we
honey
gonna
bun.
front for the review.
Yeah, come on. Listen,
But you
y-
know
Yeah.
if you're
y'all.
not happy, but you
Here's
also know you can't lie about your happiness. You
oh
can't lie
people,
about your happiness.
but I'm surprised that. Go ahead. I'm surprised that you guys are. Do y'all hear what Shaun is saying? B, I'm coming to you. But Shaun, like, why would a woman sign up for this because it doesn't benefit them when it ends like usual? Are women really thinking like that? Like,
No,
oh,
you
just in
don't get
case I
married
get
for
up
the
out of here, I
benefit.
can take advantage of this man. That's
No,
like,
you you get married because you love
uh,
the
That's not how
person.
we're thinking. I mean,
No,
the
you get married.
reality of it is when you enter into a relationship, both parties are supposed to benefit. So we're still
Right.
coming into a situation where we're trying to see where we're going to get a value out of whatever it is we're entering into. And it's the same thing with the marriage. So a man isn't going to walk into a marriage without knowing that he's going to benefit from having a wife. He's going to benefit from having offspring. He's going to benefit from being able to build with someone. And it's the same thing with a woman. We still have those expectations too. If you put in this like review process, or if you put in like a point every 5 years or every so often where, okay, we're going to assess our relationship, it's not practical, especially when you're dealing with individuals that have different emotions and different things that are happening in the dynamics of a relationship. It just doesn't, I just don't see how it can work.
So even if there wasn't an expiration
well,
date,
hold on,
people
hold
should
on, hold
have
on,
a
hold on,
review of
hold on,
their
poop, hold on,
marriage.
poop. Let me go. Let me get B in, and then we can circle back. So, B, should marriage licenses have a renewal slash expiration date?
Well, for me personally, I don't think that it should have a expiration or a renewal date. Speaking for me personally, I know that if I'm and so let's say if there is an expiration date on the marriage, let's say 5 years, 10 years, whatever number you want to throw out there. If year two, I'm not happy, I'm dipping. The hell with the expiration date, I'm just gonna leave. However, that's me. I know me. I just don't deal with BS. That's just me. I'll pay the lawyer fees, divorce you, I'll be done. That's just me. Um, as far as a prenup is concerned, um, I can see to where a person would get a prenup in a marriage if they have lots of houses or a certain amount of wealth. I could see that. Um, I could see where that could benefit the person if there is a divorce. I could see that.
Okay. So I think everybody agrees that a prenup can be beneficial
Yeah, it can
in
be.
the event that the marriage dissolves.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a preparation for when the marriage dissolves, right? And
but
we get that shit does happen, but also certain things can null a prenup also,
Hmm.
yeah, like
right?
certain lawyers and
Or infidelity. I mean, you can put several different clauses in there, So, I mean, I get it, but I just feel like you're just preparing for the worst, I guess.
I
And I
mean, yeah,
guess
but
is it
it's not preparing for when, it's preparing for if. And the reality of it is we
Yeah.
don't know what the future holds. So I mean, why not prepare for worst case scenarios?
That's
I
like
get
saying
it.
don't get life insurance when you're young because you're preparing to die. No,
Right.
you have to make those. I mean, things happen. So just in case, like I have life insurance on my kids. I don't want them to die while they're young, but I also don't want to do a fish fry if something happened to them.
But
Like
die is inevitable, right? Dying is inevitable.
but
We're
not as a
saying that
child, not as a child. Like you don't want to. you don't expect your children to die. You don't expect for your 10-year-old to die. You don't expect for your 8-year-old to die. But God forbid if something happens to them, do you have measures in place to be able to take care of whatever you need to take care of? So getting insurance on a child, some people
That's
feel
not
like,
the same.
how is it not?
I understand the analogy you're trying to make, but this is a covenant between two people where even people who are I've been to I DJ weddings where people are atheists or agnostic and they still saying till death do a part, and somehow God makes his way in there, and they always got somebody who's orchestrating the ceremony, right? So this is an agreement, I thought. But
And
50% of marriages in the US end in divorce. 63% of second marriages end in divorce, and 73% of third marriages end in divorce. So if 50% of us are getting divorced, why wouldn't we build this in? Because
And,
go
and
ahead, B.
also, Hap, I was going to throw in a statistic: 76% of divorce rates are filed by women.
yeah. So I think some of the points that were made today was that women are looking to burn the men, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that if for whatever reason my spouse and I, for whatever reason, just can't make it work, I want to be fair.
Well, that's
But
your thought process, but
right. But the thing
all
is
men,
so.
but will
But I
all
think
men have an understand? Go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You said all men have an understanding of what? That women want to just burn them.
No, and that's not what I was going to say.
I
I said all men have an understanding going into a marriage that you can come out a loser.
right.
So with
All
that
men,
being
all men
said,
have
as
that
a man, you
understanding.
should want to have a prenup. As a
Right.
man,
So
then, if that's the if that is the case, and if you as the man are the breadwinner, and you know you guys have kids or whatever the situation is that happens in your marriage, it would benefit you just in case. So that
I'm
you
not
don't
even.
have to sit here and go through, oh, I'm going to lose my home. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that.
right.
It doesn't matter. It's written down. It's set in stone.
Well,
Mhm.
I'm not specifically speaking about men who have an absorbent amount of money or breadwinners. I'm just talking in general. If anything happens in the marriage, it's probably your fault. So when it comes to court, when it comes to custody, child support, whatever it is, we have an understanding. We're coming into this agreement that we may come up with the short end of the stick when it's over, if it's
Right.
over.
But
That's
to
that's
but to
that's an
level the
assumption
playing field
already.
for both parties involved, if you had an expiration date, right? Or with this expiration date, there's obviously going to be riders into it. If you have children, the expiration date might be a little longer. If you do certain things, you could get out of it before the expiration date. But it means that once this time comes up, if you guys don't agree and you're not on the same level, if you get married at 23, you're not the same person that you are at 32. Right? So that person that you now are at 32, y'all may not agree with, you may not agree. You should be able to have an out without being taken advantage of, or having to pay extra for child support, or losing your house or whatever. It's just you should be able to walk away without having to lose everything that you have. It's not fair.
In
If
in
you
a
both
perfect
come to an
in a
agreement.
perfect